What is happening, y'all? Welcome back to the Media Goose channel. It is I, the Media Goose, your friend Ryan, and the goose is loose, baby. And I am here today with Volume 3 of my mock draft. Because it's Volume 3, we are going to do 3 rounds today, y'all. I am going to do this as a predictive mock draft, meaning I think this is the way it would go if the draft was today. I'm going to do trades. I'm going to talk about why I think some people might fall and rise. So be sure to give me your thoughts down below on my hot takes. I make these hot takes to try to engage. When I took Jeremiah Love third, I'm seeing more of that in mocks recently. When I double dipped at cornerback for the Cowboys, I'm just doing things because every year for the draft, stuff goes down that we never expected. So I am going to throw some stuff at the wall today, y'all. Let's get started. So we are starting off with the very obvious first overall pick. First off, I am using Mock Draft Hero as my mock draft simulator today, as I've had more fun using it. You can do trades with players. It's a really fun mock draft simulator if you're looking for one. So, first overall, we are going Fernando Mendoza. For the picks that are obvious, I'm going to keep it moving. Since this is 3 rounds, we could be here for a minute. Number 2 overall, based on what is being reported, it does look like David Bailey is the pick. It seems like in the last week, the reporting has really shifted to where 3 of the largest draft analysts, I think it was Schefter, Daniel Jeremiah, and maybe McShay, all mentioned they heard that David Bailey is ahead of him on their board. So I am going to go with David Bailey. Then here at pick 3, I think there's a chance the Cardinals would try to move back here because they want to tackle. But I just think that they're going to take Arvell Reese because he's there. I think Arvell Reese is the best player in this draft. So I think the Cardinals will move back if Reese is gone and Bailey is still there. I think they'll move back. Still in the top 10, but moving back. Then, for the Tennessee Titans, call me crazy, I'm just going to go with the obvious one, Jeremiah Love. Give Cam Ward some help. I think Cam Ward, I didn't like him a lot as a prospect, so he's going to need all the help he can get. Now, the New York Giants are going to do a trade. Let's see. Because Ruben Bain is still there, we are going to say the Kansas City Chiefs are going to want to move up. They're going to give us 9. They're going to give us 40. And that is going to be the trade. I didn't do both first. That just feels like more value than is realistic. Frankly, this might be too much value, but I think the Giants need to move back in one of their first trades because they only have 2 top 100 picks. And I have Steve Spagnuolo and the Chiefs coming up to get Ruben Bain. Now, the Cleveland Browns, I am going to go with the most buzzy player connected with the Browns. That's Monroe Freeling, true left tackle. Now, the Commanders, who would have loved a pass rusher or Jeremiah Love, I am going to do something unexpected. It says they need interior offensive line. I'm going to go Francis Mauigoa. I haven't seen him mocked a lot there. I don't think I've ever seen it there. And there's always somebody that takes offensive line that you don't think is gonna. So I'll say it's the Commanders trying to protect Jaden Daniels. Now we have the Saints. I am gonna say I think the wide receiver class is really deep. So I think the wide receivers are gonna fall in this mock. So I am going to have the Saints select Mansour Delane. Help that defense. The Giants have moved back. I think they would have loved to get Francis Mawanoa if he were here. Even Mansour Delane. So at pick 9, I am going to have the Giants take the guy I would take, Caleb Downs. I like Caleb Downs a lot. He might not be like the most physically imposing safety, but that's not his game. I think he would be a real playmaker all over this defense, and he'd have a lot of freedom to do a lot of fun things with the front seven the Giants have. Now we have the Bengals up, and their number one need is linebacker. I'm going to give him Sonny Styles. Sonny Styles is a beast. It's either him or Downs for the Giants for me. Now we've got the Dolphins, and I am going to give them Vega Ioane. When you're starting a rebuild, do it with the trenches. Now we have the Dallas Cowboys up. And I am going to address defense. I know they could use an offensive lineman, but I won't take... I think they need defense more. And I am going to say they take Jermod McCoy, who could be a top 5 pick in most years. Wide receiver, corner, and tackle. Not corner, wide receiver and tackle primarily. I'm going to say the first wide receiver goes off the board here, and I'm going to say it's Jordan Tyson. I think Jordan Tyson has the most clear number one receiver upside in this draft. I think Carnell Tate, while good, it also wouldn't shock me if he was like DJ Chark, where you don't do anything elite in the league, so you never ascend to the next level. Now we have the Baltimore Ravens. And I am going to go Spencer Fano. Can play any position on the line. And I think he is a top 10 player. Now we've got the Tampa Bay Bucks. 2 wide receivers are falling. I am going to say somebody wants to get ahead of the Jets here. What did I do with Cleveland? They went Monroe Freeling. So Cleveland is going to move up with Tampa Bay. Or at least try. No, they're going to do it. I get to force things here. So to move up 10 spots, they're going to give up a third this year. Pick 70 to move up 9 spots. And I'm going to say it takes an extra third as well. And force that trade. So now the Cleveland Browns are here and they get their in-state guy in Carnell Tate. The New York Jets are here. And they took they took David Bailey. I'm going to take Mekhi Lemon here. Different skill set from Garrett Wilson. The Lions' easiest pick in the draft, Caden Proctor, big mauling human, just exactly what Dan Campbell would want. Now we've got the Vikings. They are going to take Dylan Thieneman. They need a safety, as does Carolina. But instead, I am going to give Carolina Kenyon Sadiq. Dallas, who took Jermod McCoy. I am going to get a pass rusher in Keldrick Falk. Kind of reminds me of like JPP a little bit. I think he could be really good. The Pittsburgh Steelers. I am going to say in this draft they do it and they take Ty Simpson. Then we've got the Chargers. And I have a trade happening here. I have the Chargers. We're going to have a little Harbaugh home cooking here. We're going to say the Giants cannot extend Dexter Lawrence. And they get pick 22. And they get a third next year. Because the Chargers don't have a lot of extra picks, I'm going to say that they give a third next year to complete the trade. So the Giants are on the clock here. The Chargers end up with Dexter Lawrence. And the Giants are on the clock, having taken Caleb Downs. And now they are going to take one of my favorite players in the draft, Omar Cooper Jr. Great run after the catch ability. Philadelphia Eagles, I am going to go Caleb Lomu. Let's see. The Bucks, who move back, still get the guy they wanted, Akeem Messidor. The Bears, another team I think will be in on Dex, but I don't think they'll get him. So they are going to go TJ Parker for pass rush. Here is another team, the Bills, who could like Dex, but I'm going to get a player I'm comping to Dex in Peter Woods. Now we've got the Niners. They need offensive line, receiver, edge. It says safety. I am going to go with Blake Miller, just for positional value. The Texans need offensive line, defensive line, tight end. I'm going to give him Caden McDonald. And now the Chiefs are up at 29. They previously moved up to take Reuben Bain Jr., and now they are going to get Avion Terrell. Good cornerback, can play outside or inside. I've got the Miami Dolphins, who I previously gave Vega Ioane. I am going to go my best player available and say KC Concepcion. Gives them a bit of big playability. Now we got the Patriots, and I am going to say this pick gets traded for A.J. Brown. I've heard some people say he won't get a first. My ass, he's not getting a first. It might be more than just a first, but that's what I'm going to do here. The Patriots acquire A.J. Brown via trade. The Eagles are back on the board after they just selected Caleb Lomu, and now they are going to take Zion Young. I think just keeping big body guys coming into that defensive line for Philly feels like their identity. Final pick of the first round. We have the Seattle Seahawks corner, edge, running back. Fuck it. I'm going Jadarian Price. I think he's going to be a starting running back and maybe a Pro Bowl running back. If he were at any other country or any other team in the country, he probably goes a lot higher than 32 because he was stuck behind Jeremiah Love. Now, the Jets open up round 2. And they are going to select, they previously took David Bailey and Mekhi Lemon, and they are going to take Emmanuel McNeil Warren. I think they got Minka at free safety, so now you can have McNeil Warren running around at the strong safety. We have the Arizona Cardinals, who stayed put and took Arvell Reese, and now they're thrilled. Maxi Onacher is still there. Drop him in at right tackle day 1. We've got the Titans up, who took Jeremiah Love, and now they are going to draft a starting guard at Emmanuel Pregnon. Now we've got the Raiders. They obviously got Fernando Mendoza, and I am going to give them a weapon in Denzel Boston. 6'4", big guy, improves the windows that Fernando has to throw in because of his big catch radius. Now, we have the Giants, who already have Caleb Downs and Omar Cooper Jr. because of the Dexter Lawrence trade. They also traded back, so they went from having 2 picks in the top 100 to 4 picks in the top 40. And I am going to select Chase Basantis to come in. Falele sucks. They should not be planning on him starting. Go look up his stats. He's one of the worst offensive linemen in football. Now we have the Houston Texans, who previously took Akeem Messador, and now they are going to take C.J. Allen, a guy that I think could go as early as like 20. Cleveland is up. They moved up to get Carnell Tate, so they got Carnell Tate and Monroe Freeling, and they get another first-round talent in Colton Hood at corner. Now, the New York Giants are back up. They filled 3 huge needs with Caleb Downs, Omar Cooper, and Chase Basantis. So I am going to have them move out of this pick. Who wants to come up? Detroit wants to come up. Buffalo wants to come up. Or the Bears. We'll say Detroit moves up and takes Malachi Lawrence, a pass rusher with a lot of tools, who I think people will say, why wasn't that guy a first-round pick? Now, the Bengals, who already took Sonny Styles, are now going to take Caleb Banks for the defensive line. I think he's another guy whose upside is like a top 15 player in this draft, but he just had some things kind of lower his stock. We took Mansour Delane for the Saints. I almost took Sonny Styles, so now I am going to take Jacob Rodriguez. I think he's a converted corner, really great movement, really great coverage skills, and I would actually love for him to be a Giant. Now we have the Dolphins, who took Vega and KC Concepcion, and now they are going to take Gabe Yakis. I've been hearing a lot about him as just like a really toolsy player. A lot of good instincts on the field, so we'll say he goes to Miami. Now we've got the Jets, who have taken David Bailey, Mekhi Lemon, and Emmanuel McNeil Warren. We are going to say they take Brandon Cisse here. Now we've got the Ravens, who took Spencer Fano. So they are going to take Christian Miller, an underrated tackle, defensive tackle from Georgia. Now we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who already took Akeem Messidor, and they could really use linebacker. So I'm going to take, is Anthony Hill around? There he is, Anthony Hill Jr. Indianapolis Colts making their first pick. They need edge, they need linebacker, Cassius Howell. The Falcons, another team that didn't have a first. They need wide receiver, corner, defensive line. I am going to give them Lee Hunter. Now the Vikings, who took Dylan Thieneman, and now they are going to take a guy I really like, and it kills me to take this guy the pick before the Giants come up. But the Giants, oh, well, they got Omar Cooper. So they're going to take Jeremy Bernard. I feel like Addison might be gone after this year, so they're going to need to look for a replacement. Now the Giants are back up, who did they take? Chase Basantis, Omar Cooper, and Caleb Downs. Cornerback, defensive line, or linebacker. I'm going to go Chris Johnson there, best player available. Now we have the Panthers, who took the tight end Kenyon Sadiq, who will now take R. Mason Thomas. Now we've got the Packers, another team that didn't have a first. D'Angelo Pons. Undersized, but he's gritty. He is a dog of a player. The Steelers, who took Ty Simpson, are going to address their offensive line with Jennings Dunker, a guy that I think can play tackle or guard. The Eagles, what have we given to the Eagles? Caleb Lomu and Zion Young, so now y'all are going to get Chris Basil, 6'4" receiver from Tennessee. They also had lost A.J. Brown, so that's bringing in another contributor in that room. The Chargers are up after trading their first pick for Sexy Dexy, and now they are going to get a Michigan pass rusher in Derek Moore. Jacksonville, another team who could be in the Dexter Lawrence competition. I'm going to give them Jake Galday for their defense. The Bears took TJ Parker, and now they are going to take a guy I like a lot in AJ Halsey for the back end of that defense. San Francisco, who took an offensive lineman, Blake Miller, is now going to take I am going to give them Danny Dennis Sutton. We got the Texans up, who got C.J. Allen and Caden McDonald. They need offensive line. They are going to get Kalen Rutledge, who Peter Schrager had in his first round mock the other day. And Schrager's known as a guy who is like the most tapped in with teams, so he could go a lot higher than this. Now we have the Bears, who took an edge rusher and a safety and are now going to take Caleb Tiernan. The Rams got a wide receiver in, was it Jordan Tyson? I like Keontae Scott. He is arguably the best run-stopping corner in the draft. Denver, Josiah Trotter feels like a Denver Bronco. The Patriots, who have already acquired A.J. Brown, are now going to get Romello Height, another player who could go way higher than this. And now we're in the third round, y'all. This is unventured territory, and I am going to try to keep this moving. We've got the Arizona Cardinals, who have taken, or no, we have Seattle first, who took Jadarian Price. They are going to take Keith Abney at corner. We got the Cardinals, who got their right tackle and an edge rusher already. Let's get them. Grayson Halton from Oklahoma for the interior of that defensive line. I should have went Big Citrus. Now I've got the Titans on the board. The Titans have gone Jeremiah Love and Emmanuel Pregnon. And now they are going to go the player I just said should have went, Big Citrus. Now we've got the Raiders, who have taken a quarterback and a wide receiver. I'm going to address their defense with Stokes. The Eagles are going to take Eli Stowers. The Texans are going to take Mike Washington. I think they would love for Jadarian Price to get there. The Bucks have taken a linebacker and an edge in Messidor and Hill. I'm going to give them Malachi Fields. Maybe a Mike Evans replacement with a big body outside receiver. Now we've got the Commanders, who I think I gave Francis Mauigoa. And now they are going to go with Zachariah Branch. Get a burner. The Bengals are looking at edge, safety, and interior. So let's give them Connor Lew for the interior. The Saints are thrilled. I didn't even plan this, but Tyler Shuck gets reunited with Chris Bell. Whoop, and then I accidentally just immediately selected. My bad. So now Antonio Williams went to the Chiefs. Whatever. Now, I think, did I give them a wide receiver yet? Doesn't matter. It was an accidental pick. Now, the Dolphins are going to take a corner, Davison from Ohio State. Quarterback and tackle so far for the Steelers. So we are now going to go Elijah Surratt from Indiana. We've got the Bucks back up. And they are going to take tight end Max Clare from Ohio State. Now I've got the Colts up, who have taken Cassius Howell. And they are going to take Kyle Lewis. Now we've got the Falcons up, who I think took Lee Hunter, wide receiver or cornerback now. I like Julian Neal a lot. I'm going to give them Julian Neal here. Baltimore Ravens are up. And they are going... Who did I give them? Christian Miller and Spencer Fano. They are going to take Ted Hurst at wide receiver. Then I've got the Jacksonville Jaguars, who have taken Jake Galday, take Joshua Josephs. The Vikings have taken a safety and a wide receiver. They need interior line, so they go Sam Hecht. Now I've got the Panthers, who have taken R. Mason Thomas and Kenyon Sadiq. But the Panthers might be a sleeper team this year, y'all. I'm going to give them Bud Clark. I like Bud Clark a lot. And here... Nah, never mind. They are going to take Daryl Jackson, the Packers. Now we have the Steelers, safety and linebacker. I really like all three of these players right here, honestly, but I'm going to give them Jay Shaw Barham. Now we have the Chargers, who got Dexter Lawrence and Derek Moore. They need interior line. I'm going to give them Jalen Farmer. The Dolphins, who have taken Vega Ioane, Casey Concepcion, Gabe Yakus, and Davison Igbonason. We need safety tackle. I'm going to give them Kamari. I like Kamari Ramsey a lot. Jacksonville is up now. I'm going to give them Zakai Wheatley. The Bears are up. They haven't taken a defensive lineman yet, so they are going to take Caleb Proctor. Man, the Dolphins have a crazy amount of picks. And based on that, I'm going to have somebody trade. I was going to have the Rams move up, but I'm not. So the Dolphins are instead going to take Oscar Delp. Buffalo Bills need linebacker and edge, so they get Kayron Crawford, a guy who he shared the same defensive line as Keldrick Falk, and I think while he won't be going as high, he might be pretty close to the same value of player. Let's give the Cowboys Demetrius Crownover. And now the Rams, who were going to move up to take Nussmeier, just end up getting him there. All right, the Dolphins have had so many picks, I feel like I have to trade. This is just too many picks. Yeah, let's say the Cardinals have had a bunch of picks too. Let's say the Saints come up here so that they can take LT Overton. The end of the round is in sight, y'all. So the Patriots are up. They have taken Romello Height and traded for A.J. Brown. So now I am going to give them Bryce Lance, Trey Lance's brother. Now we've got the Seahawks, who have taken a corner, and Jadarian Price. Keith Abney was the corner. Let's give them Jalen Kilgore. The Vikings are up, needing defensive line corner. Let's give them Malik Muhammad. The Eagles are up. They've taken wide receiver, tight end, tackle, and edge rusher. We're going to give them Chandler Rivers at cornerback. The Steelers are going to get Genesis Smith at safety. And the final pick of the mock draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars will select I am going to say they take Xavier Harris. All right, y'all. So, that's my mock. Let's kind of go through those picks again just to highlight some of them. Up top, Fernando Mendoza, David Bailey, Arvell Reese, Jeremiah Love. Then I've got the Chiefs move up for Ruben Bain. Freeling, Mawanoa, a pick I haven't seen at all, but somebody unexpected always takes a lineman early. Mansour Delane, the Giants move down and end up with Caleb Downs. Sonny Styles, Vega, Jermad. Had the Browns move back up to get Carnell Tate. Had the Chargers trade for Dexter Lawrence, so the Giants took Omar Cooper. Jadarian Price at the end of the first. There's a lot of really good talent in this second round, y'all. I feel like up from like 32 to 50, there's a lot of really good players there. Malachi Fields replacing Mike Evans. All right, y'all. So, let me know what you thought of my 3 round mock draft. This was an attempt at being predictive, the things I think that are going to happen. So let me know what you think is going to happen. If your favorite team did something you don't agree with, let me know. Tell me. If I made a trade you don't like, tell me. Good comments, bad comments, they're all engagement, baby. So let me know. If you're still here, please do me a favor and like the video. Comment down below. All of it helps my video get to a larger audience. Thank you guys for hanging out. The Goose is out. Hi.